Elias Wren leaned back in his old rusting ship seat, watching the dead stars outside the cracked window. He was tired. Not just in body, but deep in the soul. For years he had drifted alone, jumping from ruin to ruin, searching for scraps of his people's past. The galaxy believed humans were gone, burned out in their final war, forgotten, extinct. But Elias was still here, a relic, a ghost of Earth. His ship, Wayfarer, wasn't much. It rattled when it moved and groaned when it stopped, but it flew. It kept him alive. It had one rule: never land on red-class quarantine moons. Today, Elias broke that rule. He hadn't meant to. Celexa was a jungle moon, red-classed and forgotten. A dead zone. No beacons, no patrols, no survivors. It should have been empty, but his navigation had failed mid-jump. A storm of magnetic waves had pulled Wayfarer into orbit. He tried to resist. The ship didn't listen, so it crashed. Hard smoke filled the cockpit. Lights died. Sparks flew. But Elias survived. Bruised, burned, breathing, he stepped out into thick green air. Massive trees reached into the sky like alien towers. Strange insects hummed in the leaves. Vines moved like they were watching. This place, Elias whispered, is alive. He walked for hours. His scanner was broken. His boots were wet. The jungle whispered around him sounds that didn't belong to animals. Then he saw it. An ancient palace, half-eaten by vines, hidden behind a waterfall. Black stone walls rose from the jungle floor. Symbols covered the gate's curved lines and sharp teeth. Verexery, a chill ran through him. The Verexery Empire had once ruled hundreds of star systems, insectoid, cold, hive-minded. Their war with humanity had lasted 50 years. Then both sides vanished. Rumor said the Verexery went mad. Some said they were still alive deep in the dark places of space. Elias didn't care. He needed shelter inside the palace. It was quiet, dusty, forgotten. Statues of insect queens lined the walls, their many eyes watching. The air was thick with age and sadness. Lights flickered as if they wanted to live again. A throne stood at the far end, tall and broken, and on that throne sat. She looked like death. The Verzari queen was barely breathing. Her carapace was cracked, her crown crooked. Long, thin limbs hung at her sides. Tubes ran from her body into the walls, feeding her something old and slow. Her eyes were closed. Then she opened them. Elias froze. She stared at him. Not with hate, not with fear, but with confusion, as if trying to remember a dream. You are. Her voice echoed softly. Human. He nodded. The last, maybe. Pause. I should kill you, she said. I believe you, Elias. Answered, but she didn't move, and Elias slowly reached into his satchel. I didn't come to fight, he said. I brought a gift. From his bag, he pulled a small metal box, round, black, smooth, old Terran tech. A star map container. He pressed a button. The box opened. A golden dust floated into the air. It shimmered, danced, then formed images, holograms. A child playing under Earth's sun. Waves crashing on a beach. A group of humans laughing around a fire. A mother holding her baby for the first time. Moments, memories. Not data, not facts. Feelings. The queen watched. Her mouth opened slightly. Her breathing changed, and then she cried. It wasn't loud. It wasn't wild. It was silent. One tear fell from each eye, thick and silver. Her body trembled. Her mind swirled with memories not hers, but somehow familiar. Elias stood quietly. He had only ever shown the stardust to two other beings before. Both didn't understand. One tried to steal it. The other ran. The queen just wept. Finally, she spoke. You must be the last human who knows this. Elias tilted his head. Knows what? She looked into the air, at the memories still floating. These feelings, these gifts, this connection. I thought you didn't feel emotions, he said. I didn't, she whispered. Not until now. She reached forward with a shaking claw and touched the dust. The moment she did, her body flashed with soft light. Something inside her unlocked, a hidden door in her mind. Then she began to speak, but not from herself. Not entirely. They were here, she said. Your kind, long ago. Before the war. Before the betrayal, Elias stepped closer. What do you mean, my ancestor? Queen Xerix. She made a pact with your people. Secret bond, to unite, to learn, to grow, together. I've never heard of that. No human has. It was erased. Hidden, even from us. But this dust, it remembers, and now, so do I. Elias sat down on a broken step. He looked up at the dying queen. If there was peace between us, what happened? She shook her head. Someone broke the pact. Someone powerful. War replaced hope. Fire replaced light. And when it ended, we both were lost. Elias frowned. Do you remember who betrayed it? No, but the answer is here. On Silexa, buried beneath roots and time, he stood. Then I'll find it. The queen looked at him with something strange in her eyes. Trust. Why? She asked. Why would a lone human care? Elias smiled sadly, because if I really am the last. I don't want us to be remembered only for the war. I want someone to know we tried. Suddenly the walls shook. A deep hum echoed through the palace. Lights flickered red. The queen turned sharply toward the ceiling. They have detected the stardust, she said. Who? The swarm, Vrixari High Mind. They sleep above, in orbit. They were tasked with destroying anything human. Elias cursed under his breath. They're waking up, aren't they? The queen nodded. Must leave now. No, not yet. You said the truth is buried here. If you stay, they will kill you, and help me find it before they do. She paused, then slowly rose from her throne. Her body shaking, but her eyes burning with new light. You gave me a gift, Elias Wren, she said. I will give you something in return. She turned to the back wall and tapped a hidden panel. A secret door opened. Behind it, a tunnel leading into the depths of the moon. To the vault of memory, she said. Follow me. Elias stepped in after her, and the door closed behind them. The tunnel was dark, narrow, and cold. Wet roots hung from the ceiling like long, bony fingers. Elias Wren followed closely behind the Vrixari queen. Her tall body glowed faintly in the dark blue and silver, lights blinking along her sides. She moved slowly, but with purpose. This tunnel hasn't been opened in centuries, she said softly. Elias touched the rough walls. Strange patterns were carved into the stone symbols he couldn't read. Where does it lead? The queen stopped. To the vault of memory. The place where the truth was hidden and locked away. Why lock it away? Because the truth was dangerous, even to us. They continued walking for a long time. The tunnel went deeper into the moon, curving downward like a spiral staircase. At times, Elias had to crawl over collapsed sections or climb under broken machinery. The air smelled like rust and dust. I thought the Vrixari had no emotions, Elias said. That you only followed logic and orders. That's what we became, the queen replied. But we were not always like that. Once we dreamed. We felt. We created, Elias raised an eyebrow. And then the swarm took control. A network of machines built to protect us. But over time, it became our ruler. It said emotions were weakness, that logic must rule, so we obeyed. We forgot what it meant to feel. She touched her chest lightly, until your dust reminded me. After some time, they reached a massive door made of black metal. It had no handles, no locks, just a single round panel in the center, split in half. One side glowed faint blue, the other was dark. The queen placed her hand on the glowing side. This vault was sealed by 2 species, she said. One Vrixari. And one human? She turned to Elias. Now only you can open the second half. Elias stepped forward. The dark side of the panel lit up as he placed his palm against it. There was a deep hum. Then the door slid open with a heavy hiss. Inside the vault, soft light filled a large round chamber. Floating orbs spun slowly above them, projecting maps, memories, and symbols into the air. The floor was made of glass, and beneath it, glowing lines pulsed like veins. Elias stared in wonder. "This is beautiful. It is memory," the queen said. Trapped in crystal, protected by time, she stepped into the center of the room. One of the floating orbs floated toward her and hovered above her head. A beam of light touched her crown. She closed her eyes. Elias watched silently as her body stiffened. Her legs trembled, her arms spread wide, and then her voice changed. She spoke in another voice, deeper, older. "I am Quinn Xerix of the Verexer. To any who hear this, we once dreamed of peace." Elias's heart skipped a beat. This wasn't his queen speaking. This was a recording, a living memory. The humans came not with weapons, but with wonder. They offered us knowledge, friendship, unity. We created a bond, a secret pact, one that could save both our races. The image of a human ambassador appeared in the air beside the queen's glowing form. He was young, smiling, holding out a hand. But fear is a strong poison. Some in my court believed the humans would betray us. One among them acted. He broke the pact, started a war, and now all may be lost. The memory faded. The queen gasped and dropped to her knees. Elias rushed to her side. "Are you all right?" She nodded slowly. "I saw it. I was her. Her thoughts, her pain, I felt all of it." "Who broke the pact?" Elias asked. "I don't know. Her memory ends there. But the name Zelra echoes in my mind. Someone powerful. Someone who feared peace." Elias clenched his fists. "So a single traitor ruined everything?" "Yes," she said quietly. And the swarm believed the lie. The lights flickered suddenly. A sharp sound echoed through the vault. "Warning. Incoming signal. Enemy vessel approaching orbit." Elias looked up at the floating orb. "That's the swarm, isn't it?" The queen stood slowly. "Yes, they are. Awake, and they are coming. How long do we have? Minutes, maybe?" Elias took a deep breath. "Then we can't waste time." He looked at the center of the room where the floating orb hovered. "Can this vault be moved? Saved?" Queen shook her head. "No, it is rooted to the core of Silexa. But its message can be sent." "Broadcasted?" "Yes. But it will take power. More than we have." Elias grinned. "Let me worry about that." Back at the surface, the palace shook. Dark clouds filled the sky. A massive ship descended from orbit black, wide, with sharp angles. Its lights blinked red. Long arms unfolded from its belly. Scanners reached out like searching fingers. The swarm had arrived, inside. Countless insect-like drones waited, cold, silent, ready to purge. They locked onto Elias's signal target. Human life form. Status, threat. Action, eliminate. Elias and the queen rushed back through the tunnel, the stardust box in hand. The queen limped slightly, weakened from the memory merge. "You can still turn back," she said. Elias laughed and missed the party. Reached the palace throne room just as the roof cracked open. Drones poured in like rain metal wings, glowing red eyes. Buzzing loud, Elias grabbed a small device from his belt and slammed it into the palace floor. A high-pitched sound rang out. The drones froze, confused by the Terran tech signal. "Now," Elias shouted. The queen connected her arm to the throne's old control panel. Sparks flew. Her body shook. "I can link the vault's message to the swarm's mind, but it will reach all Verexari, every ship, every mind." "Do it, Elias," said "Let them remember." The moment the signal activated, everything stopped. The stardust box opened again, and the vault's message streamed out. Timige's emotions, the face of Queen Xerix, the human ambassador. The pact. The drones paused. One by one, their red lights turned blue. The swarm high mind, orbiting above, trembled in its code. Its logic changed. Its memory rewritten. New data detected. Pact confirmed. Human status. Ally. The queen collapsed, her strength gone. Elias caught her, outside. The sky cleared. The swarm ship pulled back, floating in silence. The jungle around the palace grew still. Elias sat beside the queen, both of them breathing hard. It worked, he said. Yes, she whispered. They remember now. He looked at her with a mix of respect and sadness. So what happens next? She smiled weakly. We begin again, not as enemies, not as empires, but as what we once were, partners. Smoke still curled through the palace ceiling. Broken pieces of metal drones lay across the floor, their red lights now cold and dead. The air buzzed with silence. Elias Wren sat beside the Vrexari queen, his hands shaking not from fear, but from relief. For the first time in his life, a mission hadn't ended in death. They didn't kill me, he said quietly, almost not believing it. The queen gave him a tired smile. Because they finally remembered who you are, he looked. Up at the sky through the broken ceiling, the swarm's massive ship still floated above the moon, but it hadn't attacked again. No more drones. No more scanning. It's just watching. They're not sure what to do now, are they? Elias asked. No, the queen said. They have followed. One order for centuries: eliminate all humans. Now, with the vault's truth, they are confused. Good, Elias said, standing. Confusion means time. We need all the time we can get. Elias spent the next few hours scavenging parts from his wrecked ship. Wires, batteries, fuel cells, the only thing he could carry. His ship, Wayfarer, was too damaged to fly again, but its pieces could still serve a purpose. He dragged the parts into the palace and laid them out on the floor like puzzle pieces. What are you doing? The queen asked from her throne, now reactivated and glowing softly beneath her. I'm building a pulse beacon, Elias replied, a message that can reach other systems. If the swarm believes in the truth now, others might too. Think there are others? I have to, he said. I don't believe I'm the only one out there. There might be hidden colonies. Underground bunkers, cryoships. They need to know what happened here. The queen nodded slowly. Then we send the signal. Together. While Elias built the beacon, the queen returned to the vault through the hidden tunnel. This time, she went alone. She needed to connect again, to dig deeper into the memory matrix of Queen Xerix. To find out more about the betrayer, XEL-RA. Inside the vault. The air was cool. The floating orbs glowed softly. She stepped into the center, and the light surrounded her. A vision came clearer than before. She saw Zelra, tall, proud, cold. A Vrexari noble, a powerful mind within the old court. He had warned against the humans, called them clever invaders, said they would infect the hive. He had poisoned the queen's advisors, manipulated the swarm's early programming, and most dangerous of all, he had inserted a secret command deep in the High Mind's code. If the humans return, destroy all before they rise again. Even though he had died long ago, his command still lived in the swarm's memory core. And that core was still in orbit. She rushed back to Elias. We have a problem. He wiped sweat from his forehead. Bigger than building this thing by hand? She nodded. The core programming of the swarm still holds the old command from Zelra. The vault's message slowed them. But if their systems restart fully, they will attack again. Elias stood. Then we need to shut it down. That core is inside. Their mothership. He stared at her. You want us to board the swarm ship? It is the only way. Elias sighed, then gave a dry chuckle. You know, for a dying moon and an extinct race, this day has been busier than most of my life. They prepared quickly. The queen led Elias to an underground hangar deep beneath the palace. Inside sat a small transport ship to Stee, but mostly intact. It looked like a beetle with wings. Elias raised an eyebrow. This thing still flies. I never stopped hoping someone would come, she said. So I kept it alive. Elias grinned. Then let's go visit some very confused robots. They loaded the beacon into the back of the ship, along with Elias's custom tools, an EMP dart launcher, magnetic boots, and a device he called the Zapper, which he proudly admitted was made from a toaster, a drone core, and chewing gum. The Queen powered up the ship. Its engines hummed like a purring cat. Together, they launched into the sky. The swarm mothership was massive, bigger than any station Elias had ever seen. Its surface was smooth and dark, like obsidian, and it gave off no light. Only a pulsing blue circle at its center marked the docking bay as they approached. A voice echoed in their minds, not spoken, but broadcasted telepathically. Unidentified craft. State purpose. The Queen answered calmly. Queen, Alcara of Rixari House. Zarek's authorization Sigma 1. I come with a human ally. Human presence is unauthorized. Danger level. High. We carry truth from the vault. Let us in. There was silence, then entry granted. Temporary ceasefire. The blue circle expanded into a tunnel. The ship slid in, inside the swarm. Everything was quiet, too quiet. Elias walked beside the Queen down long black halls, the walls glowing faintly with energy. No drones attacked, no weapons aimed, but something felt wrong. These halls are empty, Elias said. They're watching from the walls, she replied. The swarm doesn't need eyes. It is the ship. They reached the central chamber, where a massive sphere hung in the air, spinning slowly. It pulsed red and blue, flashing rapidly. That's it, Elias said. The core. He pulled out his EMP dart gun and aimed. The Queen stopped him. If you destroy it, the swarm may collapse completely. Would that be a bad thing? Yes, they are confused, not evil. They can change, but only if we remove the false code, not their mind. Elias groaned. No fireworks. He connected his tablet to the core using a magnetic cable. Lines of strange code appeared on his screen, moving too fast for normal eyes. But Elias wasn't normal. He'd spent years in dead systems, hacking ancient tech. He smiled. Let's scrub some lies. He searched the code for the keyword XEL-RA. It was there, deep and hidden. Old code wrapped in protective loops, locked behind dozens of failsafes. But Elias had seen worse. He began typing, "You really think you can break into a centuries-old alien AI?" the Queen asked. Elias grinned. "Lady, I once unlocked a pre-fall bank vault using a spoon, a lie, and half a sandwich. This is easier." Took 30 minutes. 30 minutes of sweat sparks, near-fatal error messages. Then finally command found. If humans return, destroy all. Found it, Elias said. Now let's change it, he typed. New command. If humans return. Remember the pact. He hit enter. The core pulsed bright white, then went silent. The ship came alive. Soft lights turned. Drones appeared from the walls, but not to attack. They hovered silently, watching Elias and the Queen. A new message echoed in their minds. Command update accepted. Human status changed. Ally. Welcome, Elias Wren. Queen looked at Elias with pride. You did it. No, he said. We did. They returned to their ship and launched back to Selexa. Below them, the jungle moon was still and peaceful. For now, as they landed, the Queen looked toward the horizon. This is just the beginning, she said. Elias nodded. Now we find the others. She tilted her head. Do you really think there are more humans? He gave a hopeful smile. I don't just think it, Ty-note it. We're like roaches. Can't kill us all. She didn't understand the joke, but she laughed anyway. Together. They carried the beacon to the highest tower of the palace. They placed it there and activated it. A golden pulse shot into the sky. A signal of peace. A signal of truth. A signal that humanity was not finished yet. The golden beacon shined bright from the tallest tower of the ruined Vrexary Palace, sent pulses of light and data into space, telling the galaxy one clear message. The truth has returned. Humans are not enemies. The pact is real. Elias. Ren stood beside Queen Alcora, watching the signal dance across the sky. He didn't know who would receive it. Maybe no one, maybe everyone. But he had hope. The queen placed one of her clawed hands gently on the stone railing. We have done what we could, she said. Now the galaxy will choose what to believe. Elias nodded. That's the scary part. It's not knowing who's listening or what they'll do. She looked at him with calm eyes. Then we prepare for both peace and war. For the next 2 days, they worked together in the palace. Elias repaired some of the old defense systems using parts from his crashed ship. He connected human tech with Vrexary AIs, something no one had done before. Alcora guided him through the palace's forgotten tunnels and data chambers, helping him unlock ancient systems. In one of the deep chambers, Elias found something unexpected. A sealed human data core hidden behind a wall panel. It was old, cracked, and covered in dust, but the symbol was clear. United Terran Archive Class Red. Where did this come from? Elias asked. Alcora stepped closer. Her voice dropped. It was given to Queen Xerix by your ambassador just before the betrayal. It was part of the pact. Elias wiped the dust away and carefully connected it to his tablet. The screen flickered. A human face appeared. A woman in a white uniform. Her voice was calm. To whoever finds this is Ambassador Layla Noor, speaking for the last Free Terran Alliance. If you are Vrexary, know this we came in peace. If you are human, you must know. The truth of our fall was not war, but betrayal. Elias froze. I've heard that voice before. In the dust memories. The queen leaned closer. Then the memories were real. She was the one who trusted us. The ambassador's message continued. This archive contains all information about the Xerix Pact. Coordinates, diplomacy records, peace terms, and something else, a key. If activated with both human and Vrexary DNA, the key can reboot the founding protocols of the swarm. These protocols are older than the war. They are meant to unite, not destroy. Elias turned to the queen. Stunned? This could change everything. Not just memories, the very core of the swarm's mind. The queen's expression turned serious. But if we fail, the swarm may see us both as threats again. Elias held up the data core. We've come this far. We can't stop now. They returned to the vault of memory, this time carrying the data core. The chamber glowed with soft blue light, floating. Memory orbs reacted as soon as they stepped inside, circling them gently. Alcora connected her arm to the central pillar, just like before. Elias inserted the core into the data slot. A loud hum filled the room. Identities confirmed. Human. Elias Ren. Vrexary Royal. Alcora of Xerix Line. Accessing founding protocols. The floating orbs spun faster. Suddenly, a holographic screen appeared in the air showing 2 ancient logos. One was Terran, the other Vrexary. Between them, a flickering triangle, the Unity key. Insert DNA samples to continue. The queen extended a thin blade from her wrist and made a small cut on her hand. Thick silver-blue blood dropped onto the glowing plate. Elias did the same with his finger. A drop of red blood joined hers. The plate flashed. DNA confirmed. Key activated. The Unity key began to spin. Lines of glowing code streamed from it into the vault's walls. The entire room lit up, and then everything went dark. When Elias opened his eyes, he wasn't in the vault anymore. He stood on a field of stars, endless, silent. Beside him stood Queen Alcora. What is this? He whispered. A memory space, she said. Created by the Unity key, a bridge between our minds. Before them, 2 massive forms appeared, one human, one Vrexary. They were made of light and code. Old, ancient, powerful. Welcome, said a voice. You carry the last chance of unity. This is not just a key, the human figure said. It is a seed. If you accept, it will grow inside the swarm and change everything. But it cannot be undone. Elias looked at Alkara. She gave a small nod. We accept. The star field exploded with light. Back in the real world, the vault shook violently. Energy pulsed through the walls. Symbols lit up across the floor and ceiling. The memory orbs fused into one giant orb above them. The swarm ship in orbit shuddered inside. The drones began to reboot. But this time, they didn't aim weapons. They folded their limbs and waited. A message echoed from the core. Founding protocols activated. Old command replaced. Human status. Co-founder. Rexari status. Co-founder. Rebuilding Unity framework. ... Queen Alkara fell to her knees, overwhelmed. Elias caught her. You okay? She nodded slowly. Yes. I felt the swarm's mind shift, like ice melting after a long winter. Elias sat down beside her, heart still pounding. We just rewrote the past. No, she said. We rewrote the future. That night, the palace was quiet. The jungle outside buzzed with life. The sky above was filled with stars and one bright dot. The swarm ship, peacefully floating in orbit. Elias sat on the edge of the throne platform, legs dangling, eating a protein bar. Alkara joined him. She still wore her cracked crown, but her body glowed stronger, now rejuvenated by the Unity Key's energy. I never thought I'd live to see this day, she said. Elias chuckled. I never thought I'd cause this day. They shared a quiet moment. Then Alkara asked, Do you think they'll come? The humans? She nodded. Elias looked up at the beacon lights still pulsing into the stars. Yes, he said. I think someone's already on their way. Far across the galaxy, in a hidden asteroid station deep beneath rock and ice, a group of humans sat in silence. They watched the signal on a screen, golden, ancient, and impossible. One of them whispered, That's a Xerix frequency that hasn't been seen in 400 years. Another leaned forward. Is it real? The commander, a gray-haired woman, stared at the signal, eyes wet with emotion. It's real, she said. Prepare the ship. Back on Celexa, the queen watched Elias with quiet thought. You are not just a survivor, Elias Wren, she said. You are a seed of your people. Elias smiled. You know, for a race without emotions, you give some good compliments. Learning, she replied. He stood, stretching. Well, you'd better learn fast. Because if we're bringing humans and Vrexary back together, it's going to get messy. Let it be messy, she said. But let it be real. The golden beacon's light pulsed steadily from the ancient tower, sending waves of hope across the dark skies of Celexa. Elias Wren and Queen Alkara stood together, waiting for a response from the far reaches of the galaxy. Days passed like this, filled with quiet tension and endless staring at the stars. Then on the horizon a shimmer appeared. At first, it was just a flicker of light, then a bright flash that grew larger, faster. A ship emerged from the darkness. It was unlike anything Elias had ever seen. Sleek, silver, and humming with quiet power. It moved with grace, cutting through the blackness like a blade. The queen's eyes widened. It's human, she said. Ilias's heart raced. The lost. They're coming back. The ship landed gently in the clearing outside the palace. A ramp extended, and figures stepped down, dozens of them. Men and women, dressed in advanced suits and carrying equipment that glowed softly. The commander, a tall woman with sharp eyes and streaks of silver in her hair, stepped forward. Elias Wren, she called. He stepped forward, holding up his hand. That's me. She nodded. I'm Commander Jera Morn. We received your beacon, the message from the vault, the truth about the pact. Alkora bowed respectfully. Welcome to Celexa, Commander. Inside the palace, the newcomers marveled at the ancient technology and the queen's presence. Your people kept this secret well, Jara said, looking around. Elias smiled. Some of us never forgot. The group explained that they were part of a hidden Terran fleet surviving in deep space bunkers after the Great War. They had been waiting for a sign to return. Your beacon was that sign, Jara said. Alcora stepped forward. With your help, we can rebuild the Alliance, restore what was lost. Elias looked at the group, feeling hope swell inside him. This is the start of something new, he said. It's not just for humans or Verxeri, but for the whole galaxy. Days turned into weeks. Together, they worked to repair the swarm ship. Now, a peaceful guardian in orbit. Using the Unity Keys protocols, they reprogrammed its AI to help protect rather than destroy. The Verxeri and humans shared knowledge, technology, and stories. Old wounds began to heal. Elias and Alcora grew closer, their partnership a symbol of unity. One evening, Elias stood on the palace balcony, looking at the stars. Jara joined him. How did you do it? She asked. You brought hope to a dead moon. Elias shrugged. I didn't do it alone, the Queen believed. The vault held the truth, and I guess some secrets were meant to be found. Jara smiled. Well, whatever it was, it worked. But peace was fragile, far away in the dark reaches of space. A shadow stirred. A warship, black as night, flew towards Silexa at full speed. Its commander, a ruthless man named Varek, stared at a holoscreen showing the golden beacon. They dare rewrite history, Varek growled. They will pay. His ship's weapons hummed, ready to unleash destruction. Back on Silexa, alarms blared. Elias, Alcora, and the Terran fleet rushed to the control room. Enemy ship detected, a voice announced. Alcora's eyes narrowed. Prepare defenses. We cannot let history repeat itself. Elias loaded his EMP launcher. Let's show them why humans and Verxari are stronger together. The battle was fierce. Varek's ship unleashed energy blasts that shook the atmosphere. Drones swarmed from the mothership, attacking the fleet. But the newly reprogrammed swarm, AI responded, shielding allies and disabling enemy weapons. Elias piloted a small fighter, weaving through fire. Alcora commanded ground forces with sharp precision. The unity of humans and Verxar turned the tide. Varek's ship was hit. Crippled and forced to retreat after the battle, Elias stood among the wounded and weary. This is just the beginning, he said. We will face more enemies, more challenges. Alcora placed a hand on his shoulder. But together, we are unstoppable. Commander Jara nodded. We have a future now. We will protect it. The golden beacon shined brighter than ever, a symbol of hope, unity, and the promise of a new age. Elias looked at the stars and whispered, We're not alone anymore.